the poetry of Robert Frost. Wind and window flower. Lovers, forget your love, and list to the love of these. She a window flower, and he a winter breeze. When the frosty window veil was melted down at noon, and the yellow caged bird hung over her in tune, he marked her through the pane he could not help but mark, and only passed her by to come again at dark. He was a winter wind, concerned with ice and snow, dead weeds and unmated birds, and little of love could know. But he sighed upon the sill, he gave a sash a shake, as witness all within who lay that night awake. Perchance he half prevailed to win her for the flight from the firelit looking glass and warm stove window light. But the flower leaned aside and thought of naught to say, and morning found the breeze 100 miles away. On looking up by chance at the constellations, you'll wait a long, long time for anything much to happen in heaven beyond the floats of cloud, and the northern lights that run like tingling nerves. The sun and moon get crossed, but they never touch, nor strike out fire from each other, nor crash out loud. The planets seem to interfere in their curves, but nothing ever happens, no harm is done. We may as well go patiently on with our life, and look elsewhere than to the stars and moon and sun for the shocks and changes we need to keep us sane. It is true the longest drought will end in rain, the longest peace in China will end in strife. Still, it wouldn't reward the watcher to stay awake, in hopes of seeing the calm of heaven break on his particular time and personal sight. That calm seems certainly safe to last tonight. Stopping by the woods on a snowy evening. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. You will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. In a disused graveyard, the living come with grassy tread to read the gravestones on the hill. The graveyard draws the living still, but never any more the dead. The verses in it say and say, the ones who living come today to read the stones and go away. Tomorrow dead will come to stay. So sure of death the marbles rhyme, yet can't help marking all the time how no one dead will seem to come. What is it men are shrinking from? It could be easy to be clever and tell the stones men hate to die, and have stopped dying now forever. I think they would believe the lie. Bond and free. Love has earth to which she clings, with hills encircling arms about, wall within wall to shut fear out. But thought has need of no such things, for thought has a pair of dauntless wings. On snow and sand and turf I see where love has left a printed trace, with straining in the world's embrace, and such is love and glad to be. But thought has shaken his ankle free. Thought gives the interstellar gloom, and sits in Sirius's disk at night, till day makes him retrace his flight, with smell of burning in every plume, back past the sun to an earthly room. His gains in heaven are what they are, yet some say love by being thrall, and simply staying possesses all, and several beauty that thought fares far, to find fused in another star. The road not taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveller. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Fragmentary blue. Why make so much of fragmentary blue? And here and there a bird, or butterfly, or flower, or wearing stone, or open eye, when heaven presents in sheets the solid hue. Since earth is earth, perhaps, and not heaven as yet, though some savants make earth include the sky, and blue so far above us come. comes so high. It only gives our wish for blue a wet. Good hours. I had for my winter evening walk no one at all with whom to talk, but I had the cottages in a row, up to their shining eyes in snow, and I thought I had the folk within. I had the sound of a violin. I had a glimpse through curtain laces of youthful forms and youthful faces. I had such company outward bound. I went till there were no cottages found. I turned and repented, but coming back, I saw no window, but that was black. Over the snow my creaking feet disturbed the slumbering village street, like profanitation by your leave, at 10 o'clock of a winter eve. Fireflies in the garden. Here come real stars to fill the upper skies, and here on earth come emulating flies that, though they never equal stars in size, and they were never really stars at heart, achieve at times a very star-like start. Only, of course, they can't sustain the part. A passing glimpse. I often see flowers from a passing car that are gone before I can tell what they are. I want to get out of the train and go back to see what they were beside the track. I name all the flowers I'm sure they weren't, not fireweed loving where words have burnt, not bluebells gracing a tunnel mouth, not lupine living on sand and drouth. Was something brushed across my mind that no one on earth will ever find? Heaven gives its glimpses only to those not in a position to look too close.